Hello everyone, welcome back to Mentors Academy. Quickly let's go through today's current affairs in a way that connects directly with your UPSC prelims and mains and also all other state PCS exams, CAPF, EPFO, including all competitive exams, right? So I'll explain the background, link it to your prelims and mains and also point out facts that you must note down, right? So before that, let's quickly check yesterday's MCQs. So, which of the following constitutional articles allows the governor to reserve a bill for president's consideration? Article 200, Article 123, Article 110, Article 72. So, the correct answer to this question is option 1, Article 200. So, remember this for polity, it's very important. It's often asked when studying center state relations, right? So, the second question was the Forest Rights Act 2006 primarily aims to 1. Promote afforestation in tribal areas, 2. Provide forest land to private developers, 3. Recognize forest dwellers' rights over land and resources, 4. Regulate mining in forest zones. So, the right answer is to this question is option 3. To recognize forest dwellers' rights over land and resources is a very important for prelims because Forest Rights Act is one of the favorite topics of the examiners, right? So now let's go through today's key headlines. 1. A digital platform for preserving tribal art and culture. Wrongful incarceration need for compensation policy. AIMS app for student mental health. India's shipbuilding ambition by 2047. Critical minerals, no public consultation. ISRO HAL agreement on SSLV. Sariska Tiger Reserve boundary change debate. Chhattisgarh's tiger population doubles. Kachativu Island Park Strait dispute. Right. So, without any further delay, let's dive into today's articles in detail. The first article we have here is a digital platform for preserving tribal art and culture. Now, let's start with a very interesting development about tribal art and culture here. So, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has launched the beta version of Adi Sanskriti platform to digitally preserve tribal art and culture. Right? So, think about it. Our India has over 700 tribal communities. How much? Over 700 tribal communities with rich traditions like Warli paintings, Sora art, Dhokra metalwork, folk songs, but due to migration, globalization, and lack of documentation, these are slowly disappearing. Right, cultural erosion is taking place. But here, this platform will act like a digital museum plus e-commerce hub. Artisans can showcase their work online. Buyers across the world can purchase, and most importantly, our intangible cultural heritage gets recorded forever. Right? So that is the main agenda behind this portal platform. So for prelims, we can link this to different tribal art forms important like Warli, Saura, Pithora, tribal affairs ministry schemes. For mains, we can link this to role of technology in cultural preservation, empowerment of tribal artisans via e-governance, right? So moving on to the next article, it's a polity article. So the courts have, let's see the heading here, wrongful incarceration need for compensation policy, right? So the courts have raised an important question. What about people who spend years in jail but are later acquitted, right? So this is a serious concern, but India has no law for compensating such wrongful imprisonment. So India has no law, while international conventions like ICCPR 1966, that is UN Covenant on Civil and Political Rights 1966, do. So NCRB data, National Crime Records Bureau data shows that thousands of under trials who suffer only to be found innocent later. So in a Supreme Court in Bablu Chauhan versus State case 2017, it highlighted this particular gap. it highlighted this concern. So what's the impact here? The impact we can see here is people lose jobs and they face social stigma and their lives are literally ruined, right? So this violates Article 21, so right to life with dignity. A very important article, a very important points you have seen here, right? So for prelims, you can link this to the ICCPR provisions and Article 21. For mains, present reforms, ethics in justice delivery and human rights obligations, right? So moving on to the next article relevant for GS1, GS2 health and GS2 science and tech, we have AI app aims tool for student mental health, right? So this affects many students like you. So AIMS has launched an AI powered counseling app for student mental health. It's AI powered, right? So we all know exam stress is real, right? So WHO says that 1 in 7 Indians, important data to note, to mention in your main answers, 1 in 7 Indians suffer mental health issues. That's huge, right? So this app acts like a counselor chatbot counselor, right? Giving a confidential support and guiding. So it also ensures confidentiality and it helps students in professional. If students need any professional help, this AI chatbot could help with that. So for prelims, it's very important to connect this to National Health Policy, that is National Health Policy 2014 and Manodarpan Initiative, right? WHO data. For mains, you can link this to healthcare reforms, role of technology in addressing mental health, and ethics in mental health support, right? Yeah. So moving on to another important article. So India wants to be among the top 5 shipbuilding nations. Top 5 shipbuilding nations by 2047. So note this point, that's an important data for GS3 answers. So currently our share is less than 1%, while China, Japan, South Korea dominate in the shipbuilding industry. So to change this, India is pushing initiatives like Sagarmala, Maritime Vision 2030, Blue Economy push. So why is this important exactly? So it's not just for economy but also for strategic reasons. A strong shipbuilding industry means a strong navy, right? A strong navy will have naval dominance. Also, it's also crucial for the Indo-Pacific region. Indo-Pacific region, right? So it also incentives for private participation. It also helps in expansion of ports, shipyards, and also research and development. So for prelims, you must link this to Sagarmala Initiative, Maritime Vision 2030. And for mains, you must link this to connect to the blue economy, Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense, Indo-Pacific maritime strategy, right? So moving on to the next article, we have here about critical minerals, right? So the government critical minerals, so no public consultation is required in mining. The government has said that no public consultation is needed for mining critical and atomic both. So now these include critical minerals include lithium, cobalt, rare earth elements, which are the backbone of electric vehicles, semiconductors, and renewable energy. So under the MMDR Act, Mines and Mineral Development Regulation Act 2023, it was amended in 2023. It gave the center more powers, right? Now center has taken more control. So the aim here is faster clearances, right? Faster clearances to reduce the import dependency, but the risk is obvious, that is environmental harm and tribal displacement. So for prelims, you must connect this to MMDR Act, a list of critical minerals, and for mains, connect this to the balance between resource security and environmental justice, and also autonomy and critical supply chains, right? So moving on to the next article, ISRO HAL agreement, SSLV technology transfer. So the government, right? So ISRO has signed a pact with HAL, right? HAL is in Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, to transfer small satellite launch vehicle technology. So what is small satellite launch vehicle technology here? It's SSLV is a low cost small satellite. It's designed for low cost small satellite launches. It's a low cost launcher designed for especially small satellites in the lower earth orbit low Earth orbit. So this agreement means that India can scale up commercial satellite launches while HAL boosts indigenization. So HAL is a key defense public sector undertaking, helping in indigenization, especially in the space sector, right? So it also supports in-space reforms for private sector growth, right? So for prelims, so also you have to note here, it's a first full SSLV tech transfer. Important point here. First time any SSLV technology is being transferred by ISRO, and it also boosts commercial satellite launch capacity. Right? For prelims, you can link this to SSLV and HAL and InSpace. Right? InSpace reforms. For mains, link this to PPP models in public-private partnership models in space sector and Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? So moving on to the next article, we have a very important tiger reserve in news, that is Sariska boundary, Sariska Tiger Reserve boundary chase. The government is seeking a government to seek objections. So the government here plans to invite objections before altering the uh, Sariska Tiger Reserve boundary in Rajasthan. Note that Sariska Tiger Reserve is in Rajasthan. But why? But why has to change the boundary? So the reason behind this is to reduce man-animal conflict, right, and allow local development. But boundary changes will affect wildlife corridors, and it requires NTCA consultation for sure. So NTCA consultation is mandatory here. Also note the Sariska Rajasthan Tiger Reserve is part of Project Tiger 1973. Right. So for prelims, you must connect this to the location of Sariska. NTCA National Tiger Conservation Authority, Project Tiger 1973, and Sariska Tiger Reserve, its location and geographical points, related geographical features. Right? The mains connect this to conservation versus livelihood and participatory forest governance. So moving on to the next article, we have here about Chhattisgarh, again news about tiger population. So here Chhattisgarh's tiger population has doubled. So great news, and the government plans also between 2022 and 2025, Chhattisgarh tiger count has doubled from 17 to 35. It was 17 in 3 years; it has doubled to 35. It's a great achievement. So the growth was seen in Achnakamar and Udanti tiger reserves, especially. Where was the growth seen? Especially it was in Achnakamar and Udanti tiger reserves, with better corridors linked to Madhya Pradesh as well. Right, wildlife corridors were linked to Madhya. So this shows how interstate coordination helps in conservation. Right. So we have to see this background here. India hosts over 70% of global tiger population. Over 70% of tiger population was 3,167 as per 2022 census. So Chhattisgarh had low tiger density due to habitat loss and conflict. It's gradually increasing the tiger population with its conservation measures. For prelims, link this to Project Tiger and All India Tiger Census, whereas for mains, you can link this to the conservation of biodiversity, also federalism in environment, eco restoration. So yeah, let's move to the next article. This is our last article for today's important news. So Kachativu Park Strait dispute. So finally, the Kachativu dispute is again back in news, right? So in 1974, India ceded this island to Sri Lanka. Note in 1974, but since then, Tamil Nadu fishermen often cross the boundary and face arrests. So proposals for joint fishing zones are under discussion. So let's see the location of Kachativu Islands, very important for your mapping. So it's between Sri Lanka is here. We have Tamil Nadu, Rameshwaram, it's here, right? Beside Park Strait, nearby Park Strait. So very important. So the discussion, the proposal is for joint fishing zones. But it remains a political and diplomatic flashpoint. So the talks are there, talks are going on. For prelims, you can link this to the location of Kachativu and the Park Strait. For mains, you can link this to maritime boundary disputes and federal politics, right? India-Sri Lanka relations, also sustainable fishing. So yeah, that's it for today's news. These are the important articles for today, and let's now test your knowledge with two MCQs, prelims MCQs. First question is, with reference to small satellite launch vehicle recently in news, consider the following statements. 1. SSLV is designed primarily to launch satellites into geostationary transfer orbit. 2. It is capable of carrying payloads of up to 500 kg into low Earth orbit. 3. SSLV technology has been transferred by ISRO to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for commercial use. So which of the following are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, and 1, 2 and 3. So the next question is, the Kachativu Island often seen in news is located in which of the following water bodies? A. Gulf of Mannar, B. Park Strait, C. Andaman Sea, and D. Bay of Bengal. Right, these are the two prelims MCQs. Drop your answers in the comment section below. We'll be checking your responses, and we'll see the answers to these questions also in the next current affairs session, that is tomorrow. We also have two mains practice questions for you to answer, for you to practice answer writing. The first question is, preventive detention laws like the Public Safety Act have been criticized for undermining fundamental rights. Critically evaluate the constitutional, ethical, and security dimensions of the preventive detention in India. 15 marker, 250 words question. The second question is, India has set an ambitious target to be among top 5 shipbuilding nations by 2047. Discuss the economic, strategic, and geopolitical significance of developing a robust shipbuilding industry for India. GS3 questions, also 15 marker, 250 words questions, right? So these are the questions. So that's all for today's current affairs. You have to notice how every headline we discuss ties directly to your competitive exam syllabus. So revise carefully, connect with static topics, and you'll be ready for both prelims, mains, and also for all other PCS exams as well. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mentors Academy if you found this session helpful. Share this with your peer group. So I'll see you tomorrow with another power packed current affairs session. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Have a good day.